In this topic, we discuss the monitoring and evaluation of team members against performance standards, because remember, ultimately we want to make sure that employees are performing to their best abilities in terms of the organizational goals, so we need to make sure that this performance is according to standard. So we learn how to formulate performance standards for team members, establish systems, prepare for performance, and conduct a performance review. So what is performance management and how do we do this? Performance management can be defined as a systematic approach to managing the process according to which the performance and development of individuals and entities within an institution are actively managed to ensure that strategy and vision of the organization are achieved. The performance management process includes the design, which defines the performance that is being managed. Then the implementation, which is the process of the performance management, and then integration, which is the management of the consequences of the performance. The purpose of performance management is to help a leader decide what increases of pay shall be given on the grounds of merit, to determine the future of an employee, to indicate training needs, and to motivate the employee to do better in his or her present job by giving the worker knowledge of results, recognition of merits, and the opportunity to discuss work with his or her manager. Remember, in the topic of motivation, people like to feel a sense of belonging and reward, as well as monetary rewards for their services rendered. Furthermore, to formulate performance standards for team members, we need to follow a specific process. We need to plan the work and setting the employee expectations, continually monitor employee performance, develop the employee's capacity to perform, and periodically rate the employee's performance, and then rewarding good performance. This performance management system is an essential management system that helps structure internal resources and then monitor and evaluate their effectiveness. Performance standards are used to provide a benchmark for performance. It answers employee questions, what is expected of me, and it enables the leader to appraise objectivity. We define excellent behavior, it eliminates any guess on the part of the employee, and it alerts employees to the need for corrective action. It further provides an opportunity to improve performance. It allows managers to monitor employee skills after coaching and training. It is a guide for employees to evaluate how well they are going to and clarify areas that are used for improvement. When developing these performance standards, we need to make sure that they're measurable, attainable, understandable, observable, communicated, and required or necessary for the particular job. Performance standards can be written to specify the activities an employee needs to perform, the accomplishments or outputs of such activities, and the outcomes which are hoped to be achieved. When these performance standards are set effectively, it benefits the organization, the manager, and the employee, because it will clarify the expected results, help focus individual efforts, indicate actions employees are to take, make it easier to identify achievement, help all to identify and correct problems, and establish a climate of communication. As discussed, it's extremely important to appraise and also reward employees. So we need to be able to rate them or rate their performance and then give them appraisal according to that. So then we can have a look at typical appraisal techniques. We can look at a rating scale from 0 to 5. We can look at comparison with objectives. We can look at critical incidents. We can give a narrative report. We can look at behavioral anchored ratings like excellent, very good, good, average, poor. And then we can look at 360-degree feedback, where we're constantly giving the employee feedback based on their performance. And then we can look at balanced scorecarding and then performance contracting. The key elements of an effective performance review or appraisal are preparation by both the manager and the member of staff, factual information and evidence of past performance, both positive and negative, privacy, uninterrupted discussion time, open, honest discussions from both sides, create agreed on action plans for follow-up after the meeting, and agree on main tasks and targets for the coming periods. During implementation of performance management, leaders must collect data to measure actual performance to determine the variation from the standard. Personal observation, statistical reports, oral reports, written reports can all be used to measure the performance. The possible outcomes of the performance measurement would be excellent performance, sufficient performance, and then insufficient performance. Generally, as part of the talent management option, you would also look at the excellent performance and take then into consideration the insufficient performance, and then base a training needs analysis on the insufficient performance and look at career opportunities based on the excellent performance from the employee. As part of the preliminary assessment, documentation and information is gathered. This is then documented, and performance management forms should contain a provision for the basic personal details such as name, department, position, length of time in the job, job titles, job descriptions, a detailed review of the individual's performance, an overall performance rating, general comments by the manager doing the appraisal, comments by the employee, and a plan for the development of action. Some guidelines to assist a manager in conducting an effective performance review or interview. Keep the appointment. Ensure that both you and the employees are prepared. Set aside plenty of time. Do not allow interruptions, and create a non-threatening atmosphere for the employee to feel comfortable. This performance appraisal represents a legal communication between an employee and should be supported by objective reasoning. Appraisal judgments can be objective or subjective. Objective factors are observable and measurable results. These are things like quantities, errors, and attendance records, anything that can be measured. And then we get subjective factors, which are opinions. These are difficult to measure or document. They invite bias or charge of bias because they include subjective factors like personality traits such as dependability, initiative, and perseverance. Diversity is one of the main reasons for the subjective factor. Remember that no one of these particular topics work in isolation. They all work together to form a whole. And that's a wrap on our topic for performance management. Evaluating performance has overall business benefits of ensuring that organizational goals are met. It provides as a legal communication between an employee and a manager. It builds relationships and provides sufficient direction for the employee. It eliminates